When monsters attack, it's time to arm yourselves with sword and spell and employ some adventure tactics.
Welcome to Tantrum House Studio Awesome. I'm Katie.
And I'm Ryan, and today we're going to take a look at Adventure Tactics Domianne's Tower by Nicholas Yu, published by Letiman Games. This is a game where you are fantasy heroes fighting against monsters. We have a hold of the prototype, so let's take a look.
Adventure Tactics Domianne's Tower takes place through a dynamic campaign where each scenario has different effects and rewards and may lead you along a different storyline depending on whether or not you succeeded at the main objective, failed, or you succeeded above and beyond with the bonus objectives.
The campaign storyline has both scenarios that you play and decision story points that compel players to make choices.
At the start of the campaign, each player will pick a main class that will dictate their basic attack and movement, as well as grant them class features, a passive ability, and their starting action deck.
As you complete scenarios, you will be able to gain levels. Each time you gain a level, you can either gain a level of the same class, gain a level of a different class, or gain an elite class. If you gain a level of the same class, you gain stronger abilities from that class. If you gain a level from a different class, you gain some of their starting abilities, and if you gain an elite class, it overwrites your basic attack and movement, besides giving you new abilities.
In each scenario encounter, you play through a series of rounds consisting of 4 phases. First, everyone fills their hands to their max hand size, which is usually 4, and in the second phase, the initiative is dealt out to determine what order the people will play in. Some abilities will allow players to manipulate this order.
Then, in the third phase, players take turns performing 2 actions. As an action, they can play a card from their hand or activate one of their cards from their player board. They can discard a card to take a half move, or they can ready a card from their hand back to their player board.
When players play an action to attack, they have to check the range, line of sight, type of damage dice, and an area of effect. For example, when a wizard casts Fireball, he checks that his target is within the range of 4, which is a square, and he sides up to 4 spaces away from the wizard. Then he checks to see if there's an uninterrupted line between the corner of one of his squares and the target square. Next, he rolls the damage dice, which is in this case a single blue die, and the area effect is 1. So every character within 1 space of that target square will take the damage rolled.
The opponents are controlled by a boss deck that flips a card every time it comes up in initiative. The cards will tell you the movement direction and the actions each adversary will take, resulting in some surprises for the heroes.
Finally, in the last phase, players will remove any conditions that are not specifically ongoing and may also discard a card from their hand before refilling for the next round.
An encounter will be won or lost by meeting the conditions described for that encounter, and then the story moves on.
Initiative order is really important in this game. I didn't actually realize that as I was going through, and so I didn't really pay attention to it at first. There are some character abilities that allow you to manipulate that order, and I think for the heroes that's really important in this game.
Yeah, as I was leveling up, I was definitely looking at those abilities. I think it was the Archer that let you get nimble or swift or something like that, and bump up 1 or bump back 1 in the initiative. So I was like snatching those up as much as I could.
Yeah, and this game has a lot of beautiful art. It's really fun art. It's not the typical like fantasy art that you expect to see, but it is really fun, it's really colorful, and one of my favorite parts about this art is that it actually includes new art for cards. So when you hit those elite levels, you're leveling up and your card art actually changes to reflect the changes you've made in your character.
Yeah, leveling up is really interesting, and you definitely want to plan ahead on what you're going to shoot for, because you are limited to only 10 levels total, and I think 5 in each class. And then for the elite classes, each elite class can only be given to one player. So you want to talk with the other players about which character is going to get which elite class, because they are limited. Also, even in the basic classes, you're limited in that I think only one character can have 3 levels in a class or more, and then only 2 can have 2 levels or more, and then I think anybody can have 1 or more. So you can't all be 5 level archers. You know, you have to spread it around and really work out how you guys are going to strategize and have that cooperative synergy amongst the characters.
Yeah, really, this is a lot about teamwork. So if you don't have that variety of skills, you're going to feel like your team's really lacking. Also, in this game, there are going to be minis for the final version. So that's something to look forward to in the Kickstarter. And so if this game sounds like it'll be something that you enjoy, check it out, coming to Kickstarter soon. That was pretty good. Oh, that's me. This game is for 3 to 5 players. Is that true?
Yeah, 3 to 5.
3 to 5 players. I'm listening to my earrings jangle a little bit.
Yeah.